Right before his defeat in Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio exposed Peter Parker's identity to the world. Everything changed for Peter in an instant. Reporters swarmed Michelle Jones in New York. Spider-Man showed up just in time to get her out of the situation. He took MJ home using his synthetic web. They entered through the bedroom window. Moments later, May and Happy walked in. Happy told them that he and May had broken up. While Happy was sulking in the corner, Peter told his aunt that the whole world now knew he was Spider-Man. Helicopters approached the building. His face was everywhere on the news. Many people were angry because they believed Mysterio was a hero. They accused Spider-Man of killing him. Peter was investigated and a warrant for his arrest was issued. May, MJ, and Ned were also dragged into the case as accomplices. Matt Murdock, their lawyer, explained that the police did not have enough evidence. But Peter still had to face hostile public opinion. As they were talking, someone threw a brick through the window. Matt caught it. Peter saw a note on the brick supporting Mysterio. Peter and May realized they needed to move somewhere safe and decided to stay at Happy's place for a while. The next morning, Peter and MJ went to school to start their senior year. A crowd gathered outside. Some supported him and others tried to intimidate him. Peter managed to get inside but felt disappointed because his classmates and teachers now treated him like a celebrity. He realized he would never be seen as a normal person again. Peter and MJ met on the school rooftop to find a quiet place. Ned arrived and the three of them talked about college. They wanted to get into MIT, but MJ was worried. She didn't want to set her hopes too high. Throughout the week, letters from Boston universities arrived, but none accepted Peter. He still hoped MIT would accept him. A few days later, the MIT letter arrived. Peter went to see MJ at her workplace so they could open it together. Ned was also there. They read the letter at the same time. They learned that they were not accepted because of their involvement with Spider-Man. Peter felt guilty because his friend's future was affected. He decided to find someone who could help. That afternoon, Peter went to Stephen Strange's house. When he entered, the place was covered in snow. Wong appeared, followed by Strange. Peter asked them to turn back time so Mysterio would not reveal his identity. Strange refused. They had already tampered with space-time when reviving millions of people. Peter insisted he was doing this for the people he cared about. Strange explained he no longer had the time stone. He offered another solution. A memory-erasing spell. It would make everyone forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Wong warned the spell was dangerous, but Strange agreed to help. They went to the ritual chamber. Strange explained that everyone would forget, including himself. Peter asked him to make MJ, Ned, and May exceptions. This interference disrupted the spell. It almost caused a disaster. After the spell failed and Strange became furious, Peter left to find the MIT vice-chancellor who was on her way to the airport. He wanted to ask for a second chance for his friends. When Peter found her, his spider sense warned him. People started running. Metal tentacles rose from beneath the road. Dr. Octopus appeared and attacked. He threw cars at Peter. He grabbed Peter and damaged part of his suit. The nanotech suit fused with Octavius's tentacles and gave Peter control over them. When Octavius removed Peter's mask, he realized this was not the Peter he was looking for. Peter used the tentacles to save the vice-chancellor and pull her car back onto the tracks. She thanked him and said she would review their MIT applications. Peter wanted to know who Octavius was and why he attacked. At that moment, Green Goblin appeared. Strange returned through a portal and brought Peter and Octavius back to the special prison. Strange explained that the disrupted spell pulled people from different universes who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Strange instructed Peter to capture the villains using a bracelet that would teleport them into the prison. Peter asked MJ and Ned to help locate the villains. Ned found reports about a glowing creature near a military research facility. Peter suspected it was the man he saw on the bridge. Octavius said it was impossible because Norman Osborn was already dead. But in another universe he was still alive as the Green Goblin. That night Peter arrived at the facility. He saw a glowing being absorbing energy. Peter shot the bracelet beam but it passed through the creature. The creature attacked. When it was about to strike again, a large wall of sand appeared to protect Peter. The Sandman, Flint Marko, asked if Peter didn't recognize him. Peter asked him to help catch Electro. Flint created a sand tornado and Peter cut the power cables to weaken the creature. Electro returned to human form and said the energy in this world felt different. Peter immediately sent him to the prison. Flint grew suspicious and attacked. Peter sent him inside too. In the prison, Max met Dr. Kurt Connors, the lizard. He was a scientist who transformed his body into a reptile to gain regenerative abilities. The next morning, May called Peter. She said one of the villains was at her workplace. Peter panicked, worried for her safety. When he arrived, he found May talking with Norman. Norman asked for help. He said another personality controlled his body. He had no home or Oscorp in this world. He had no son here. He couldn't control himself when the Green Goblin took over. May asked Peter to help. Peter refused, but May said he had a moral responsibility to do so. They brought Norman to Strange's prison. Octavius was shocked because Norman should have been dead. Flint said Octavius was supposed to be dead too. Strange arrived with a device to reverse the spell and send them back to their own worlds. The villains were terrified. They knew returning meant death. Peter begged Strange to wait, but Strange refused. He said it was their fate. Strange activated the machine. Peter stole the box and trapped Strange. Strange escaped and chased him. He politely asked for the box, but Peter refused. Strange separated Peter's soul from his body. Peter's body still moved and held the box. Peter returned to his body and fled. Strange sent his cloak to catch Peter and pull him into the mirror dimension. Strange controlled everything there. Peter tried to talk, but Strange still intended to send the villains back. Peter realized the mirror dimension followed a spiral pattern. He used geometry to take back the box and trap Strange in his own dimension. He also took the sling ring. Peter returned to the prison and explained his plan to fix the villains' fates before sending them home. Norman offers his help because he is also a scientist and believes he can contribute to a solution. Kurt the lizard warns Peter that his decision will bring serious consequences. Peter gives them two choices. They can join him to prevent their deaths before returning to their universes, or stay in the holding cell and wait for Strange to reverse the spell. Faced with a choice between life or certain death, the villains accept Peter's proposal and agree to follow his plan. Before leaving, Peter hands the box to MJ and gives Strange's ring to Ned. His plan is simple. If anything goes wrong, MJ will press the button that sends everyone back to their worlds. MJ accepts the responsibility. She says that if she loses contact with Peter, she will press the button. Peter and the villains then go to Happy's apartment with May. Peter shows them a device called the Fabricator that can analyze, design, and create almost anything. While Peter and Norman work on a solution, Max looks at the city and imagines the possibilities of living in this energy-filled world. A few hours later, they finish the device that will cure Octavius. Peter attaches it to the back of Otto's head and he passes out. When he wakes up, he is no longer aggressive and regains control over his tentacles. He has no intention of fighting Spider-Man anymore. After thanking Peter, Otto offers to help create the other cures. The next mission is to build a device that suppresses Norman's dark side. Peter also makes a device to block Max's powers and turn him back into an ordinary human. The light on the device will turn green when the electricity in Max's body is gone and he is cured. Outside, a journalist who has been following Spider-Man discovers their location and waits for a chance to record something that could incriminate the hero. Suddenly Peter's spider sense activates. He senses danger and immediately shoots webbing to grab Norman's hands. The goblin has taken over his body. May rushes to get the cure. Peter tries to convince Norman to continue with the plan, but when he realizes he can't stop him, he tells May to run. Max decides to team up with Goblin and rips off his device before the cure is complete. He destroys the Fabricator and steals its power core. Since Otto is still on Peter's side, Max attacks him. The reporter manages to record the event. While Peter fights Goblin, helicopters approach the building. May escapes down the stairs. When Peter tries to flee, Lizard appears and throws him back into Goblin's arms. Goblin's blows destroy the floor and they fall in front of May. She injects the serum meant to separate Goblin from Norman, but it doesn't work. Peter begs May to leave, but she refuses to abandon him. Goblin attacks using his glider and escapes. He drops bombs inside and outside the building to frame Spider-Man. A few minutes later, May gets up and hugs Peter. Peter is relieved she's alive. He apologizes, but May tells him he made the right choice by trying to help the villains. Peter says it wasn't his responsibility. May replies that he has great power and great power comes with great responsibility. As they are about to leave, May suddenly collapses. Peter sees a serious wound on her abdomen. He calls for help. May dies in his arms. Peter tries to wake her, but fails. Happy arrives in his car and sees what happened. Police order him out. Happy tells Peter to run. The police start shooting and Peter is hit. He has no choice but to escape. At Ned's house, Ned and MJ try to contact Peter, but he doesn't respond. MJ is about to press the button to send the villains home. Ned then notices something about strange ring that Peter gave him. He discovers the ring can open a portal to Peter's location. Ned waves his hand and says he wants to see Peter Parker. A portal opens. They see Spider-Man, but when he removes his mask, they realize he is Peter Parker from another universe. They call him Peter too. Ned opens another portal to find another Peter Parker. It works. A third Peter appears from a different universe. He says he has been searching for this world Spider-Man all day because he feels he must help him. MJ guesses where Peter usually goes to calm down, and they find him. Ned and MJ hug him. They introduce the two other Spider-Men. Peter wants to send them home, but he changes his mind after learning they also lost people they loved. They decide to work together to cure the villains. After finishing the cures, the three Spider-Men create a plan to lure all the villains to one place. They will cure them all and send them home. Peter 1 goes to the Statue of Liberty and broadcasts a message to draw the villains in. Electro arrives first. He wants to destroy the box so he won't be sent back. A fight begins. Peter 1 hands the box to MJ through Ned's portal. Ned doesn't know how to close it. Soon after, Lizard and Sandman appear. The three heroes realize they have a better chance if they focus on one target. They cure Sandman first. The next challenge is Electro. He is very powerful because he uses the reactor he stole. Lizard notices the box is with MJ and jumps through the portal to get it. Peter 1 follows to protect his friends. MJ and Ned throw the cure that turns Kurt back into a human, and it works. Spider-Man 2 and 3 are close to being defeated by Electro. Octavius arrives to help. He tears the reactor from Max's chest and injects the cure. Ned tries to open a portal to escape with the box, but Strange exits the mirror dimension and retrieves it. He is furious and looks for Peter. Ned explains that Peter's plan is working. Almost all the villains are cured except Goblin. Goblin arrives and steals the box. Strange takes it back but discovers a bomb inside. It explodes. MJ falls from the statue. Peter 1 tries to save her, but Goblin stops him. Spider-Man 2 catches her before she hits the ground. He is moved because he failed to save Gwen in his world. The explosion breaks Strange's spell inside the box. Everyone in every universe who knows Spider-Man's identity is pulled into that reality. The final battle between Peter 1 and Goblin begins. Peter is consumed by rage and intends to kill him. Spider-Man 2 and 3 see the danger. They know Peter could become a killer. Peter almost kills Goblin with his glider. Spider-Man 3 tries to stop him and is stabbed by Goblin. Even so, Peter chooses to cure Goblin. Peter goes to Strange. Strange says the universes are collapsing because everyone is trying to enter. Peter asks for a spell that will make the entire world forget who Peter Parker is. This means even the people he loves will forget him. He accepts this burden to save everyone. He says goodbye to the two Spider-Men and his friends. He promises MJ and Ned he will find them and make them remember. They kiss and the spell begins. All the intruders return. Peter disappears from everyone's memory. Weeks later, Peter walks through the snowy city while practicing what he will say to MJ. He enters the cafe where she works. Ned is also there. He learns they were accepted to MIT. Seeing them happy, Peter chooses not to reveal the truth. He visits May's grave and meets Happy. After that, Peter rents a small apartment in New York and continues his life, and with that the story ends here. This movie shows that you must face the consequences of your actions with courage. It also shows that you grow when you choose to help others even when it hurts you.